Welcome to History Rewatched, where we don't just tell stories from the past, we bring them to life. From untold legends to game-changing events, this is history like you've never seen it before. World War II officially ended in 1945. But what if I told you, for some soldiers, the war didn't end for decades? Welcome to the unbelievable tale of the island where World War II never truly ended. This isn't just a story about war. It's a story about loyalty, survival, and the lengths a human will go to stay true to their beliefs. Our story begins in the chaos of World War II, when the Japanese Empire spread its forces across the Pacific. Many soldiers were stationed on remote islands, ordered to defend them at all costs, even to the death. One such soldier was Hiroo Onoda, a young intelligence officer trained in guerrilla warfare. In 1944, Onoda was sent to the Philippine island of Lubang with a simple but stern command: never surrender. Imagine being handed a mission with no end date. Would you follow those orders? Or would you question everything after years in the jungle? But then, 1945 came. The atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and Japan surrendered. For most, the war was over. For Onoda and his men, it was just the beginning of a bizarre chapter in history. Cut off from the outside world, Onoda and his small team refused to believe the war had ended. They dismissed flyers dropped from planes and radio broadcasts as Allied propaganda. To them, every shadow in the jungle was an enemy soldier, every villager a potential spy. What would you do if every sound in the night felt like a threat? Onoda's jungle was not just his battleground, it became his prison for years. Onoda and his men waged a phantom war, ambushing farmers, sabotaging supplies, and surviving off the land. One by one, his comrades either surrendered or were killed, but Onoda pressed on, clinging to his orders. As the years turned into decades, stories of Japanese soldiers still fighting the war became urban legends. Some thought they were just myths. But Onoda, he was very real. Think about that. 29 years. Imagine fighting a war for so long that the entire world changes, and you don't even know it. Fast forward to 1974. A Japanese college student, Norio Suzuki, embarked on a mission to find what the world believed was a ghost, Hiroo Onoda. Against all odds, Suzuki found him, alive and still in uniform, after 29 years in the jungle. But there was a problem: Onoda refused to surrender unless ordered by his commanding officer. Suzuki returned to Japan and tracked down Onoda's former superior, who was now a bookseller. Together, they returned to the island. Imagine the moment. After nearly 3 decades, hearing the words, "Your war is over," on March 9, 1974, Onoda's commanding officer formally relieved him of duty. After nearly 30 years, Onoda finally laid down his rifle. His story made headlines worldwide, a living relic of a war-long past. Back in Japan, Onoda struggled to adjust to a world that had moved on. The bustling modern cities, the cultural changes, it was like stepping into an alien planet. Eventually, he moved to Brazil to live a quieter life, writing books and reflecting on his extraordinary journey. Onoda's story isn't just about war. It's about resilience, belief, and how the past can shape us in ways we don't always understand. Onoda wasn't alone in his determination. Other Japanese holdouts were found in remote corners of the Pacific, some as late as 1974. These soldiers symbolized not just loyalty but the isolation and tragedy of war. Think about it. Could you survive nearly 30 years in isolation, clinging to an old reality? What would keep you going? Let us know in the comments. Today, Lubang Island is a peaceful place, far removed from the turmoil of war. But its jungles still whisper stories of the soldier who refused to surrender, reminding us that history doesn't always end when we think it does. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and join us next time as we uncover more incredible tales from the past.